Alabama is changing the way it checks for voter fraud.
Small rain chances return to East Alabama this week. We'll have the complete forecast details coming up. And in sports, we'll talk about the week of high school football ahead.
This segment of EAN Local News is brought to you by Oxford Lumber. Come visit any of our locations in Oxford, Jacksonville, Talladega, and Roanoke.
Good evening, and thank you for watching East Alabama Now Local News for Monday, September 25th, 2023. I'm Katie Edwards.
And I'm Mike Stedham.
The state's chief election officer recently rolled out a new system for maintaining a database of registered voters, but not everyone is convinced it will benefit Alabamians. Secretary of State Wes Allen, who took office in January, has worked with his staff to develop AVID, the Alabama Voter Integrity Database. It replaces ERIC, the electronic registration information system that works so well it helped the state attain a #1 ranking for election integrity in the United States, according to Allen's predecessor, former Secretary of State John Merrill.
I think that's something that should be a cause of concern for all Alabamians.
Both systems use voter registration logs, Social Security death reports, and motor vehicle department records to identify registered voters who died, moved, or are listed as eligible to vote in more than one place. However, AVID compares voter registration logs to information in just 5 other states, while ERIC compares them to about 24 states.
When you don't have the kind of integrity credibility that was associated with ERIC, and you're substituting something that's far less effective, I can't understand why anybody would think it was better.
Allen declined an interview request from EAN, but he did issue a statement claiming that the new system allows Alabama to compare data with Mississippi and Tennessee, which have never before been part of the old system. He added that this is the first time Alabama can check its figures with all 4 of its border states. ERIC was lauded as a nonpartisan effort when it began in 2012, but it became the focus of political controversy in some states after the 2020 election. That's when lawmakers began questioning whether a second part of the organization's mission, that is, reaching out to unregistered voters, unequally targeted Democrat-leaning voters, according to an article that has been published in June by the National Conference of State Legislatures. Since that time, 8 member states, all of which have Republican majorities, have withdrawn. Merrill, who is himself a longtime Republican, says he maintains confidence in the ERIC system.
I have a committed, concerted effort to ensure that each and every eligible U.S. citizen that's a resident of Alabama be given the opportunity to become a registered voter and obtain a photo ID. We utilize the ERIC system to help us do that as well. So we want anybody that is eligible to vote to be registered to vote. Everybody in the state of Alabama does not have that same philosophy. That's evident now if it weren't before.
In his prepared remarks, Allen defended his actions, saying the switch from ERIC to AVID had nothing to do with party lines and everything to do with accountability. When we come back, we'll warn you about a new scam that targets people who want to stream local high school football games.
For over 60 years, Oxford Lumber has been servicing our area, and our customer service has always been our main focus. Our customer service is what sets us apart from anyone else. From the moment you enter, our highly trained staff will treat you like family.
To enthusiastically provide total customer satisfaction within a positive and self-fulfilling employee relations environment. Visit us at any of our 4 locations or at oxfordlumber.com.
This segment of EAN Local News is brought to you by WM Grocery, located in Heflin, Wadowee, Roanoke, and in Piedmont.
Officials say a new scam is spreading across social media, disguised as live streams of local football games. According to the Better Business Bureau, the scheme tries to trick area residents into sharing credit card and other personal information, claiming to provide coverage of local games at links that lead off of Facebook. Those often appear in comment sections around game days, and they're now creating Facebook events that appear in local listings as well. Experts say that these links don't provide any kind of service, they're just a trick to get information. The scammers aim to capture personal information, including credit card and social security numbers, as fans log in to watch their team play. The Bureau says that it has these tips to avoid such scams. Research any website with bbb.org before entering any information, and always check a site's security setting. Also, be careful about clicking through links on social media posts because they can place you at risk for malware or identity theft.
Anniston police are asking for the public's help in finding a woman who has been missing for more than a week. She's identified as 43-year-old Katrina Lynn Phillips, who was last seen on September 17th in the area of West 31st Street in Anniston. Officials say Phillips may be suffering from a condition that could impair her judgment. She is described as a white female, 5 feet 3 inches tall, 140 pounds, with blue eyes and blonde hair. Anyone with information about her is asked to call Anniston Police at 256-238-1800. When we come back, it's homecoming week in Heflin.
Since 1993, WM Grocery has been a major part of our local community. WM offers the very best in fresh produce and an outstanding meat department. WM also has many local products not found anywhere else and fresh sushi every day. If you need an event catered, come see Mrs. K at any WM store. Curbside pickup is also available for your online grocery orders. Be sure to download the WM app for all the deals of the week and shopper rewards. Go check them out today at any of their locations.
We take pride in our community and appreciate your business.
This segment of EAN Local News is brought to you by Waldrop Manufacturing, metal buildings made right here in Calhoun County.
Downtown Heflin will be full of activity Thursday night at the Cleburne County High School Homecoming Parade as it goes down Main Street starting at 6 p.m. Parade lineups start at 5:30 and all floats will enter Ross Street at the Cleburne County Nursing Home and proceed to Mount Cheaha Dental. They will stay on the right side of the road and be assigned their places by a parade volunteer. The homecoming court will park at the Legion Hall parking lot. Cheerleaders, band, volleyball, and football players will be bused from the school to Legion Hall and dropped off and then proceed to their place in the parade. PARD teams will meet at the Heflin City Park and travel together as a team on their float to parade lineup. The parade will start at Mount Cheaha Dental and follow the same route as the Christmas parade through town and will turn down Evans Street. Students will be let off at Evans and Burn Street. Students will return to the school either via bus or their parents. For any questions, please contact City Hall at 256-463-2290, extension 0.
Sounds like that homecoming is better planned than D-Day. I mean, they really have the troops lined up and everything. But there's one thing that we have to take care of. That's the weather.
That's exactly right. And for that information, John Holder joins us now in the EAN Weather Center. John?
Well, Mike and Katie, there is a chance of rain coming up on Thursday, but all in all, we think any parades across East Alabama should be in good shape. We'll have the complete forecast details for the week ahead next.
For metal buildings in Alabama and the Southeast, Waldrop Manufacturing is your one-stop source. A Waldrop metal building provides the coverage and protection your investments need. They specialize in carports, RV covers, portable buildings, and storage buildings. Stop paying rent for storage. With Waldrop's price per foot, you can actually save money by buying straight from the manufacturer. Waldrop buildings are guaranteed because Waldrop manufactures buildings with U.S. steel right here in Calhoun County. Waldrop Manufacturing, serving the entire Southeast. Give them a call today.
We are officially into fall in Alabama, but it's still summertime outside as far as the weather goes. Today, a pretty classic summertime weather day. 85 for the high, couple degrees above average for this time of year. After a morning low of 60, again right at the average of about 61 degrees. Record high temperature 98, the record low temperature 42. And those sunrise and sunset times continue to shorten. 6:34 the sunrise tomorrow and the sun setting tonight at 6:36. Weather on on your street for a Monday night. Going to take out the Steinberg Road on the north side of Piedmont. Mostly cloudy skies tonight, 63 for the nighttime low. But all in all, a pleasant evening across East Alabama, including in the city of Piedmont tonight. Coming up on your Tuesday, about a 1 in 3 rain chance. Ashton Place over in Heflin. It's going to be a mostly sunny day. Temperatures will be very warm. We're going to reach 85 again tomorrow afternoon. About 1 o'clock or so in the afternoon, and from then on, we'll have about a 1 in 3 rain chance in Heflin and the rest of East Alabama. And for the rest of the work week coming up, a few afternoon showers and temperatures in the low 80s. That's the forecast for Gladden Lane out in the Alexandria Valley and all of Calhoun and Cleburne counties. Again, the chance of rain on Wednesday going to about 40%. 30% on Thursday, and then drying out toward the weekend. You'll see those numbers reflected here in our 7-day forecast. Again, 80s across the board all the way for the next week. Chances for rain very small, but there's at least a chance of seeing a shower or thunderstorm popping up tomorrow and Wednesday and Thursday. The better chance will be Wednesday afternoon. Highs in the 80s. Low temperatures will be mainly in the 60s throughout the period. And again, no widespread rainfall coming. Don't see any kind of cold fronts or anything like that coming. Basically, the same weather we've had for the last couple of weeks going to be in effect for the next couple of weeks, except for a few days there with some small rain chances in the afternoon. Again, we're looking to the tropics to see if we can find anything that might bring us some rainfall here to East Alabama in late September. Philippe is out here in the Atlantic. That, as you can see, is going to curve up and go out into the Atlantic. No threat to us here in the United States. And then there's a bit of a disturbance. The National Hurricane Center gives this a 40% chance of development down here in the far southwest Gulf of Mexico. Again, we don't think that's going to provide any relief for us here in East Alabama as far as rainfall goes. Well, coming up next in sports, we're going to talk about high school football games coming up this week in Calhoun and Cleburne counties.
Ted's Floors and Beyond is excited to introduce our all-new outdoor living collection. Have you ever dreamed of elevating or even creating an outdoor living space, whether it be for grilling, lounging, playing, entertaining, or just winding down? Our quality tile and stone, combined with our expert craftsmanship, will no doubt create unforgettable outdoor moments with family and friends, while also enhancing the beauty and value of your home. Call us today.
John Holder in with you for EAN Sports. It is week number 6 of the high school football season, believe it or not, and we're back to non-region play. And there are a lot of big games going on across Calhoun and Cleburne counties on the slate this week. The big game Thursday night, Anniston at Piedmont at the Field of Champions. Hoax Bluff visits White Plains. 2A Power Reeltown comes to Heflin for homecoming to take on the Cleburne County Tigers. Oxford on the road at Hartselle in a battle of 6A top 10 teams. Walter Wellborn travels to Talladega. Sachs will be traveling to Sylacauga to face the number 1 team in the state in Class 2A, the B.B. Comer Tigers. Jacksonville at Ohatchee, a battle of Calhoun County powers on the creek bank at Ohatchee. Central of Clay County, one of the top teams in Class 5A, makes their first ever visit to Lou Scales Stadium at Death Valley in Alexandria. Asbury comes to Weaver. Ragland will play at Pleasant Valley. And a few teams in Calhoun and Cleburne counties with open days this week. Ranburne, Donahoe, and Jacksonville Christian Academy all off this week. Well, over the weekend, Anniston and White Plains supposed to have played each other for Anniston's homecoming. Due to circumstances unforeseen by both schools, that game was canceled, and now the official word coming that this will be an actual forfeit by White Plains. That will give Anniston the win. That will give White Plains a loss. That was also a region game in Class 4A Region 4. So Anniston will take the victory. They'll go to 3-2 overall, 2-1 in region play. White Plains will remain winless, 0-4 overall, and 0-2 in region play. Speaking of the Anniston Bulldogs, Anniston, we mentioned that big game with the Piedmont Bulldogs for the second year in a row. They will play this game on a Thursday night, and it will be right there at the Field of Champions in Piedmont. at 7 o'clock on Thursday night. The Bulldogs of Piedmont have never beaten the Bulldogs of Anniston. It's a series that is 5-0 in favor of Anniston. They met last year in a thrilling game that came down to the wire at the Field of Champions in Piedmont, where Anniston won the game 30-28. It was a monumental comeback by Piedmont in the fourth quarter to make the score close at the end. The Bulldogs are coming off a big loss. They lost at home at the Field of Champions last week to the Ohatchee Indians. Head coach of the Piedmont Bulldogs, Jonathan Miller, joined me on High School Football Alabama's After the Game this past Friday night. Here was his response to how the Bulldogs of Piedmont can bounce back against the Bulldogs of Anniston.
Well, the big thing we got to forget this week, we got to forget what's happened up to this point, but understand what got us in this situation, you know. So, you know, we challenged the kids before we left to come with a good mindset on Monday. We got to get to work, and it's a short week and quality opponent. And it seems like every time we turn around, we're playing a quality opponent. So, you know, it is what it is. We got to make the best of it, next man up mentality, and go out and try to win a football game.
And so a big game, Piedmont and Anniston, a battle of Bulldogs. The two teams, amazingly, even though they're in the same county, this will only be the sixth meeting between Anniston and Piedmont. Kickoff 7 o'clock Thursday night at the Field of Champions in Piedmont.
Thanks for the updates, John, and thank you for watching today.
You can find us here online every weekday on either Facebook or YouTube, or you can go to our website, eastalabamanow.com. Just go to our video feed and watch us whenever it's convenient for you.
That's right, and we will see you back here Tuesday for your news on your schedule.